For all his sons and his daughters won't fill the cities with faces. Iniquities of they father, bloodthirstiest of our nation. Not for living water, waiting to put that work in. Hamashiach give us that order, prepare slaughter. For all his sons and his daughters won't fill the cities with faces. Iniquities of they father, bloodthirstiest of our nation. Not for living water, waiting to put this work in. Hamashiach give us that order.
You ever heard of the world of sports? Or does that mean the entire earth?
What's going on, bro? I know you had a question and shit.
Yeah.
It's taking forever. What's up?
I started to ask him, but maybe you can answer me.
What's up?
I'm trying to understand the connection between your message here and the Israelites that I know from the Bible.
There's no disconnect. The
Okay.
connection is we're saying that we are the Israelites you read about in the Bible.
That's what I figured. Like you're part of the tribes.
Absolutely.
That went from Africa to the U.S.
Yes, sir.
Right? That's
Yes,
the
sir.
link.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You heard of that before?
Not so much. That's why I'm kind of curious. I'm Israeli.
Okay.
That's I know my history, but we say that we have two tribes that kind of remains, like Judea and Benjamin. And where are the 10 tribes? We don't know, right? So,
But don't you guys say that you guys have Levi a part of it too, or not so much?
Levi never had the land. Levi is the only tribe that was. His role was to keep the Israel like a priest, for example.
Right. No. We understand that the Levites were the priests. We're saying that when you said that there's only two tribes that remain, I thought you were saying that your Judah and Benjamin is the ones that remain. I thought Levi was with you guys too.
Could be. Yeah, I'm not
Could
that
be.
familiar.
Okay. Well, yeah, and then you say, well, where's the other 10 tribes? So, here's the thing.
Right.
Do the Israelis teach, or do they have any information biblically, right, where they draw the connection? Or do you guys just say, well, we've just been knowing this?
Which connection are you referring to?
To the people of the Bible, right? So the connections that we draw, we don't have a genealogical list going all the way back because of history, disenfranchisement,
2,000
enslavement,
or 3,000 years.
so many different things, right? So the most that we've ever heard from you guys is just, well, we have a list of names that just goes back to the people of the book.
No, that's
But
not true.
this is why I'm asking the question. I'm like, if I have an Israeli in my face, I said, let me ask a question, because we're drawing a connection through biblical prophecy, right?
Right.
God explaining to the Israelites that certain things would happen to them and they would be able to recall themselves and who they are in the latter days.
Well, we never lost track of who we are.
That's why I said that.
That's the uniqueness about the Israelites or the
Okay.
Jewish people at the moment, because we came back now to the land of Israel. We've been in diaspora after 2,000 years. Before there was the temples, the two temples that we had.
Right.
So we had a very clear link between the past and the future.
Now here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is where we would have objection,
Okay, I would be interested to hear it.
because returning to the land
Right?
was prophesied, right?
Yes,
It's prophecy.
it is.
So when the Jewish people of today went back to the land, what prophecy was that fulfilling?
No, prophecy is an ongoing process. One of the things was, first of all, came back to the land. Okay, from all over the world came back to the Holy Land. The second thing is to build a temple, to build the third temple.
Third temple.
As I understand the Bible, we have also to make, I call it peace, but it's kind of to reunite again with Christianity and with Islam, because it's part of the big family of son of Abraham. That's my interpretation.
Right.
I just kinda put it aside.
And we don't agree with that. That's
You wanna agree?
because that concept is Christianity.
What is Christianity? Jesus was Jewish, right? He was coming.
He was a
from-
Jew, correct?
So, saying Christianity is just a bit of a different branch that's.
No, did you know that there's doctrine and there's theology that goes
Well,
with
well,
the
so
understanding,
The Christianity layers are like that: Old Testament and then the New Testament, as they call it.
as they call it, right?
So the Old Testament and our Bible is pretty much similar.
Right.
For example, the Torah core of it, the Bible, the Holy Torah, it's the same.
Right.
Meaning that if we understand something in Hebrew
Correct.
and we interpret it to the Christians, they will say, all right, you guys know, because
Because this is what you guys follow. This is your book.
Yeah. And,
Right. Torah, Tanakh, and then like you said, getting into what they will call the New Testament. What we're saying is that the idea that all of these Abrahamic nations are then all going to come back together, we're saying that's Christian doctrine. That's not in the Bible.
So what do you guys see as?
So watch this.
Like
I'm gonna show you
America on
something.
Fire or something like that. You see like a bad thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's biblical prophecy about.
Which Bible are we referring to?
We're talking about the Hebrew Bible.
Okay. Which
So,
book?
in Revelation. Excuse me. No, listen. Hold on. Daniel. We can go in Daniel. We can go in Micah. We can go in Joel.
So
But long before we even get to Revelation.
So what you guys need to understand is that they distinguish between Daniel and other names that you refer, because Daniel is in our Bible, and Joel. Well, Joel is also in our Bible.
Yeah.
It's in Nevi'im.
So everything that I just named, Daniel, Joel, you can go in Ezekiel, you can go in Jeremiah. These are all in the Tanakh. This is all in the Hebrew Bible. This is long before we even get to.
We already had been past that because the temple has been destroyed. We got kicked out. So
but I'm gonna show you something, right? This is why we have this conversation, right? Where's Shashan go? Shashan, come here real quick. So when we start talking about prophecy, right? In Jeremiah, it speaks about the northern and the southern kingdom, right? Southern kingdom is Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Northern kingdom is the rest, right? Get that in Jeremiah 3. It's the prophecy of the nation of Israel getting the land back, and that they were going to walk back into the land together. And then there's also one in Isaiah, right? About when the land is given back to the children of Israel, and they're going to walk out of this place of Babylon, right? But remember, when you say, oh, Daniel, we're already past that. In the prophecy of Jeremiah, the Babylon that they were going to walk out of, they were already past. They were already dealt with the situation with that.
Before Jeremiah and before Isaiah, that he will be the most important thing from my argument.
Which is who?
Yeshayahu. Let me find his name in English.
Talking about Isaiah.
That's Isaiah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Isaiah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Isaiah, you want to show me Isaiah or Jeremiah?
Listen, no, I'm gonna give you both.
Okay.
Watch it. Jeremiah 3, start at 16, 17. Go ahead.
Look at Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 16. And it shall come to pass.
This is prophecy. It shall come to pass. It's speaking about something in the future. Read. Hold on. Let him get to it.
In Hebrew.
3 and 17.
Okay.
You start at 16 and 17.
16.
16.
All right, got you.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 3 and 16. And it shall come to pass, when ye be multiplied and increased in the land, in those days saith the Lord, they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of the Lord, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they
It's
visit
not mind. It's a heart.
What does it say?
Not the
Mind, heart. Heart and your mind, same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah,
it's not.
no
All right.
difference.
Yeah.
It is.
You said it is or no?
It is.
Yeah. Heart and mind is same thing.
All the Jewish religion is about two things: the mind and the heart. The Judea in Israel. This is two things that comes together. But
Okay. Go ahead.
shall come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall they be done any more.
Keep reading.
At that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Lord, and all nations shall be gathered unto it. The name of the Lord to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk any more after the imagination of their evil heart.
This is after the dispersion, and this is dealing with the return. They're no longer going to walk after their evil heart. Remember, the punishment was because Israel's heart was evil towards God. They had an evil mind. They went off to their wicked and vain imaginations. Everyone did after the imagination of their own hearts.
that's not how we see it.
Why did Israel get dispersed out of the land? According to God.
We interpret it as a sinat chinam, meaning like we hate each other just for nothing.
Right. Because the Torah is about what? Brotherly love.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if we're not executing brotherly love, this is what causes the anger of the Lord to come upon us, or come upon Israel. Let's keep it general. This is what causes the anger of the Lord to come upon Israel, and then they were then what? Sent into captivity.
Spewed out of the land.
Right? They went into
Connect me to these days now.
Hold on, I'm about to show you. Okay. What we're reading here is future prophecy after there's no longer the hate between one another.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Once the hatred is gone and righteousness, right, and obedience is restored in Israel, that's when we're going to, again, like it says, Jerusalem's going to be called the throne of the Lord. You know, we're not gonna have to go and seek after the Torah or the Ark of the Covenant, right, which is the Torah. We're not gonna have to do that anymore because it's going to be in us and on us to perform those things naturally. Go ahead.
Verse 18. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel.
They're going to be together. The northern and the southern kingdom, they're going to walk together. Go ahead.
And they shall come together out of the land of the north.
And they together are going to come out of the land of the north, the place in which the children of Israel would be walking out of together, right? The land of the north. Keep reading.
Verse 18. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel.
Now, here's the thing, though. Because even in establishing what the land of the north is and that it's Babylon, it's prophecy. So it's not literal Babylon. And I'm going to show you that in Isaiah. It's not a literal thing. It's going to be a future place that's going to take on the characteristics and the idea of Babylon. It's almost like the place of Egypt. Go ahead, I'm listening.
The first Babylon reference in the Bible, you know where it is? Maybe.
Under Nimrod.
Maybe. We don't know that.
No, it literally tells you.
It doesn't say under Nimrod. It says after the flood.
King
no, but
Nimrod.
my point is,
after the flood, I'm listening.
The point is, what happened in Babylon, in that Babylon that I'm referring to?
The Lord destroyed the tower.
Before that, the chapter begins, chapter 11 begins like that, and the time is that man has one language and one thing. You have it in English?
Hold on, where we at?
Genesis 11.
10 and 8, hold on. And Kish begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. Hold on.
Yeah.
He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord, and the beginning of his kingdom was Babel.
Yeah.
Nimrod
the beginning of his kingdom was Babylon.
The beginning of Nimrod's kingdom was Babel. That's the root word for Babylon.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't the same area. It wasn't the same area.
The only reason we got on that is because I said because Nimrod was the king of it. You said maybe, and I was just saying definitively it is.
The maybe that I'm referring to is that chapter. Everyone on earth, I don't know if the same translation you're using, but everyone on earth has the same.
They were of one. Everyone had the same language. They built this tower for oneness.
So today, we are in the time when everyone has the same language.
So me and you are on the same page.
Which is not English.
Okay.
You know what language it is?
What is it?
It's binary language. It's 1 and 0. This is the language of computers.
1 and 0.
This is called binary language.
What I'm saying is, how does the entire world
is linking the world?
Technology is linking the world. We are now trying to build the Babylon Tower to reach heavens with the cloud and all that technology.
I wouldn't even necessarily disagree with that. All I'm saying is that me and you are on the same page, that a terminology can be used to represent something in the future, but not mean the very thing, the literal place itself. So that's the point. So if me and you understand that, then the X's and O's is irrelevant. Go back to that in Jeremiah.
But then Jeremiah,
in those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel.
They're going to walk together. Go ahead.
And they shall come out together out of the land of the north.
They're going to come out of this place, this land of the north, read.
To the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers.
And they're going to go back to the land that was an inheritance given unto the forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Go ahead.
But I said, how shall I put thee among the children and give thee a pleasant land, a goodly heritage of the host of nations?
So again, we're recognizing that when the children of Israel return back to the land, in a future context, according to prophecy, northern and southern kingdom are going to walk together.
Okay.
So when I asked you the question about how does you guys' return, the people in the land now, how does that fit into prophecy? You said it's an ongoing thing.
Right. But you're saying we didn't come from the north? Or
You guys did not come from the land of the north, nor did you guys walk together with the children of the northern kingdom as well. Remember, they're gonna be removed out of the land of the north, and they're gonna walk out together and go back into the land that was promised as an inheritance.
So I will just give you the reference of Jeremiah's book. It's all during the time of the destruction of the temple.
Correct.
But the Isaiah prophet, this is the prophet I hope you guys put more attention to.
Isaiah 14.
Please.
Because watch this. Oh, Isaiah 14 is going to be even, the book of Isaiah, period, is going to be even more crazy because it goes back to my question. How did you guys' return back to the land fit any prophecy in the Bible? Any prophecy in the Hebrew text?
You're not thinking that we are, first of all, our language is Hebrew.
I understand.
Second of all, we kept the religion, we kept the light going until these days. If we weren't doing that, there was no Israelites.
Hold on, wait. Here's my thing though.
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
the whole reason why God took the children of Israel out of the land is because they were being wicked.
Okay.
Do you feel like the Jewish people right now are operating in righteousness?
No.
So how did you guys get back to the land?
It's not. If we say now, you mean now or like when we came back to the land?
1948.
We came before that. We came like 100 years before. Like
No.
before the establishment
no.
of the state, there was
Balfour Declaration. Okay,
Before
maybe in little trinkets here and there.
the first settlements was around the end of the.
Here's the thing. How long have you guys been being wicked?
We've been wicked.
For a very long
I
time.
would argue that wicked is part of being human. Like everybody is a wicked in a sense.
What's your name? I'm Taz.
Tom.
Tom.
Tomer. It's Tomer. Tomer.
Tomer.
Yeah.
Tomer, come on. You know what we're asking you. The whole reason why you guys were not in the land to even have the need to return back is because you were expelled out through the spirit and power of God because of wickedness and disobedience. We're not talking about whether or not wickedness is a human trait or a human
what you're
characteristic.
saying that the fact that the Israelis came back,
It must signify that they're now operating in righteousness because that's how God returns. I'm gonna show you one more, Ezra, right? Go to Nehemiah 9, and then we're gonna go back to Isaiah. There is stipulations. There is a prerequisite, mandatory steps that have to be done before God is gonna reward the children of Israel and bring them back to their inheritance.
well, God didn't bring us back. We brought ourselves back.
Exactly.
No, but-
Exactly.
Yeah.
So hold on. So how do you guys go back to the land on your own will when God said that he was going to bring his children back according to his word or his power and his prophecy? This is now why we have to get into it.
Well, this is me. Well, I'm not a religious, as you maybe understand.
It's not necessary. Here's the thing.
It is because my belief is not. I don't think that. I think God is running the show. He's running the world. He's making this conversation between you and me.
You said you don't believe God is
believe-
running this?
I believe.
You
But
do believe God is doing this.
but God is not something that is kind of comes from outside and pull the strings about doing everything. That we are doing things because we want to do it because we have God inside of us.
So we left the land because we wanted to?
No.
Thank you.
We didn't have the Holocaust because we wanted to.
Thanks.
We
No, exactly. So when you're telling me that what you guys are doing is from a power within and you're doing this because you want to, I'm saying no, because then you'd have to account for the flip side of it. You weren't expelled out of the land because you wanted to. You didn't go through the Holocaust because you wanted to. No. This is all things that are ordained by something outside of us, which is God. He's the one pulling the strings and making all of this happen. Otherwise, nothing bad would ever happen because we would never allow it. We would never want.
No, bad is part of the thing, part of the.
What is part of it? Bad, or you're
Bad,
saying?
bad? The thing, the issue of bad in the world.
So here's the thing, right? How did the children of Israel get the land? Didn't it belong to somebody beforehand?
In the Bible or now?
In history. Because, like you said, you're not really too religious. So I don't want to try to make it super duper religious, even though the text is important.
I know the history.
So the history is, how did the children of Israel get the land?
Well, there were further. The history starts like in the Bible.
Let's just start from Egypt, right? Let's start from the Exodus,
That was
the
that's
exilic
not
period.
history.
So you don't believe that you were even in Egypt?
I just said
slaves?
Let's separate. And when I look at history, I look like 500 BC and up. Like before that, before like the times of the Egypt and all, there is no archaeological proof that you can show that there was a nation that comes from Egypt.
Yes, it is.
Archaeological proof.
Yes, it
No,
is.
There isn't.
There is.
Okay.
It's a man by the name of Amen Misi. You can go look up a man named Amen Misi, right? And this is how the Egyptians tell the story, right? Hold on. The Amen Misi was a man who we understand to be Moses, and he led the Shasu people out of the land of Egypt. It was a mass exodus that he led.
Amen Misi or Amen Mosi, a 19th dynasty rather, pharaoh that reigned in about 1200 BCE circa, right? This be a chronology of the New Kingdom. So we have here a guy bearing a very similar name to Moses. He just has an Egyptian god attached to the front of his name. See him here depicted with braids. We see him here depicted with an afro. His mother is known to be Queen Takat. Among her titles are King's Daughter, which would make her the daughter of Merneptah or Ramses II, or possibly a granddaughter of Ramesses. There was no record or mention of him having a father. Exodus 2:10, and the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son, and she called his name Moses. And she said, because I drew him out of the water.
Say it again?
I said I'm going back to history.
Okay.
First temple, then second temple.
No. I want you to understand something, that we're trying to establish a point when, in response to you saying, it's not God outside of us, it's something that is within us, and we're doing the things based off of our own will and according to what we want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, if that's the case, then how did the children of Israel even establish the land? When you say history, let's talk about how the land is established as the land of Israel, as an inheritance going back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That is God. That's not you guys sitting here saying, oh, I just want to go take that land.
No, that is God. When it comes to the Bible, that is God.
No, I'm talking about in history. Let's talk about life.
The last prophets, it's just I'm not counting, Jesus' time as prophecy, but before that, it was like before 3,000 years. So God is like kind of vanishing from the area. There is no prophets at the moment. You don't see prophets here. Let me just
No. But let's not get off topic. Yeah, let's not get off topic, right?
I'm trying to understand your point. Is you asking me what is our link to the land?
No, it's not. No. I'm not asking you what your link to the land is. I'm saying if you're trying to remove God as being the influence, the one pulling the strings and making things happen, then you would have to you now almost disqualify your own history, because it was God, and through his influence and through his charge and order to go into the land of Canaan, to take that land. And that gave you the power to do so, because Canaan outnumbered the children of Israel. This is the history that we have. Otherwise, how do you stake claim to the land at all?
So that terminology, that's, for me, it's not history as opposed to...
If it's not history, then and we want to remove the text, because we believe that the text is a historical record as well.
Yeah.
Every nation on the planet Earth uses the biblical text for historical references. People like the children of Ammon and Moab, they would never have no type of understanding that they even ever existed without the Bible. Right? We say this is the most reliable text that has been utilized throughout the annals of time, and has historical references that you cannot find anywhere else, and that they utilize it to even uncover people like the children of Moab and the children of Ammon. Case in point, children of Moab, children of Ammon, when we understand the history and the dealings and the battles that the children of Israel had with them, there was times where God was with them and helped them win, and then there was times where God said, do not go and fight against them. You're going to lose because you disobeyed me. I'm not going to back you and support you, and you're going to lose. The backing and supporting is what God had over the children of Israel when he sent them into the land of Canaan, so that they can establish what we now know today as the land of Israel. Without God, there is no land of Israel that you now stake claim to.
No, you missed my point. They say there is no God. So these days, at the moment now, God is still here, right?
I mean, I would say God is ever present all the time.
So we agree on that.
Right? But so what did you mean when you were telling me, when you said, we're doing what we want to do, we're not?
My point is, according to our prophecies, or maybe the way I interpreted it, is that God did his part in the beginning with all the miracles that happened in other times, but now is the time, as I see it, where the God is no longer like, it's like a child.
He took his hand off control of the world.
Let's use a metaphor, okay? If the birth of Israel was a birth from Egypt, mother, like we learn how to walk and fed from the sky like bread during the desert.
Correct.
Then we became teenagers, and we had, so now we are not kids anymore. Now we are God is trusting us to find the goodness in our hearts, because he built his word in our image, and whatever we are doing now is still going to be his plan, but he's just not going to be here present to do it. That was my point.
So where is he?
Well, he's inside of us.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, ultimately we're saying the same thing, but this is why prophecy is important, because if he established, with God being the ruler of the planet Earth and him orchestrating the existence of life according to how he sees fit, when he gives prophecy, he's not going to give prophecy just for it to not happen the way he said it's going to.
We have to understand, once God is with us, we're using our mind to distinguish between prophecies, to read the context of the prophecy.
Correct.
To like we did with the Babylon idea, like to connect this link, and then we chose whatever is good for. And if I see like the coming back to the Abraham religions, like comes together, and I can find it in Isaiah and even in Abraham time, the covenant chapter 15, like that's part of something that I feel good, because that's how I feel God is with us.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you, that you're buying into the theological ideas and doctrine of Christianity, and that's not in the Bible. It's loose. They pick and choose little parts to embellish on, but that's not rooted in the Bible. But we're not even talking about Christianity right now. We're talking about the Israelis' return back to the land. Mm-hmm. And you just told me right now, you said, yeah, God didn't do that. You said we did that on our own. And I'm saying exactly. Mm-hmm. This is where people like us find issue and problem. We find it problematic that you guys are claiming the land, or even claiming to be the people, and staking claim to a land when you're going back to the land and it's not even according to the prophecy in which God said his people will return back to the land.
You're just saying we did it without God's permission or something like that. Because we are
Israelis. I do believe that you did it by way of God's permission, but it's not solidifying or validating that you're God's people. It says that the Gentiles will occupy the land until the latter times.
You see the Israelis are potentially not being the Israelis that
it's not the Israelites in the Bible.
Interesting.
Like so it's almost like you guys are goyim.
But how we kept the tradition so far?
No, but that's the thing. You guys just say that. You have to understand something. There's no proof that you guys kept the traditions, and I'm gonna tell you why. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you why.
Mishnah, Gemara, like Talmud, all that layers. I'm sorry to interrupt.
It's not to interrupt. I want to hear you so that you can hear me.
Yeah.
How can you verify, if you can go to any shred of evidence, that you guys have been keeping the traditions since the beginning? You do understand there will be no point for you to have left and been pushed out of the land. If you keep the traditions, God says he's going to bless you and put you on high above all nations of the earth. But if I ask you, are the Israelis, are they being righteous right now, right? Keeping the traditions or being obedient to God? You said no. Most of you guys are atheists. Most of you guys don't even believe in God. Most. More than 50%.
That's not true. Like there is a tradition, like someone that keeps Shabbat prayer and not go to the synagogue, but just keep the holidays. That's called tradition.
Tradition, but don't even believe in God. There are a lot of Jewish people that
don't know God. That's what's sad. They don't know God. They don't know the Bible.
But here's my thing. The whole concept and idea of the people of Israel not being in the land is as a result of them not knowing God, not following the traditions, not doing anything. They have left those things. So I'm saying that if the people in the land now fit that, right? Or if they're staking claim to being the people, then it's either one or two things. Either they'd have to be righteous and they'd have to go back according to prophecy, or they wouldn't be in the land because they're not being righteous.
Or they will be righteous.
Huh?
Or they will be righteous.
Or they would be right. But no, what I'm saying is they would be righteous, and then therefore the prophecy will be fulfilled with them getting the land back. Or the people in the land there, which me and you will agree, they are not being righteous over there. They have pride parades in Tel Aviv. They have pride parades. They have kosher pigs over there.
Pride parade.
Pride, the homosexual parade.
Yeah.
They have that in Tel Aviv.
They have it. It's just 10% of the population is being gay. That's
No,
not
what I'm
something-
saying is that how is the Israeli people allowing such behavior when God said that that's an offense punishable by death? That's Torah. So if this is the type of stuff that's going on in the land, how are you guys even in the land? Remember, you're only going to get the land back after you perform the righteousness of God.
So the definition of righteousness, that's what we are disagreeing, because I don't see that.
No, the definition of righteousness, which then is a catalyst to the redemption and the return to the land.
Can you define righteousness in like a few words?
Deuteronomy 6 and what is that, 24?
Then I need to leave.
2 seconds. Give us 2 seconds, right? Because I want to finish the Isaiah, because you said that's most important. I want to show you something in Isaiah. 6 and 24, bring it out.
Deuteronomy 6 and 24, and the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes.
Deuteronomy,
Deuteronomy.
right? Go ahead.
6 and 24. The Lord commanded us to do all these statutes.
He commanded us to do all the statutes. Go ahead.
To fear the Lord our God.
Fear the Lord our God.
For
Read.
our good always.
For our good always. Go ahead.
That he might preserve us alive.
That he might preserve us alive. Being righteous is how we get preserved alive. Being wicked is how we get destroyed, killed, pushed out of the land.
Define the righteous.
We're about to do it right now. Go ahead.
As it is this day, that it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he hath commanded us.
Our righteousness is observing and doing all the commandments that God commanded us in Torah. That is righteousness. If you're not doing that, you will be punished, expelled, killed, all of the above, all of the punishments.
Where were you reading? Like chapter 6?
Deuteronomy 6 and 24. Now he's getting that and reading that. Go to Isaiah. Read it. What does it say?
Lord command us to do all that rules, all that tours for like all.
All of them. Go ahead.
No, for fear, for all the Lord, for the good, for us all days, to make us live as today. And righteousness will be for us.
And righteousness will be for us. Go ahead.
Keep doing all that stuff.
So, man, listen, just let me know when I'm tripping, man. Just let me know when I'm tripping. Hold on, watch this. Wait.
Yeah,
One more. I know. One more. Isaiah 14 from the top.
Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Lord will have mercy on
Hold on,
Jacob.
read it with us, so you know. Just make sure that it's... Okay, I got you.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
Go ahead.
And will yet choose Israel.
Go ahead.
And set them in their own land.
Remember, going back to the land. He will have mercy on Jacob and choose Israel and set them in their own land. Read.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
The non-Israelites are going to be joined with us, but how? Go ahead.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
They're going to cleave unto the Israelites. Read.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
The nations that took us out of the land are going to be the ones that the nations that took the Israelites out of the land are going to be the ones that bring the Israelites back. This is in the prophecy of Isaiah,
In the
right?
NLT it says, the nations of the world will help the Lord's people to return.
The nations of the world is going to help God's people, the Israelites, return back to their land. It's all going to be by way of God's doing and his influence, but the other nations that took the Israelites away are going to be the ones that caused them to return. Read.
Back to the KJV. And the house of Israel shall possess them.
And the Israelites are going to possess these people. Go ahead.
In the land of the Lord.
In the land of God for what?
For servants.
And what?
And handmaids.
For servants and handmaids. The Israelites are going to then rule over these people. Go ahead.
And they shall take them captive.
They're going to take them in captivity. Read.
Whose captives they were.
As the Israelites were once in captivity to them. Go ahead.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
And the people that oppress them are going to rule over them. The Israelis are not ruling over the Germans right now. The Israelis are not really ruling over anybody.
They took nobody back.
They're not doing anything. And guess what? It was not your enemies that took you back to the land. It was your allies that took you back to that land. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in that day, in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest.
And in that day, right, when he takes us back to the land, he's going to cause us to rule over our oppressors. We're going to have servants and handmaids and captives. We're going to get rest for what?
From thy sorrow.
From our sorrows. Go ahead.
From thy fear.
And from the fear. Read.
And from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
In the places that they were caused to serve, they will be given rest from all of those different things. None of this happened when the Israelis went back to the land, which is why we say those are not the people of God that are fulfilling the prophecies that God gave. The prophecies that God gave is the people that's going to walk together, northern and southern kingdom, which is blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, walking out of this current place, Babylon, all right? And they're going to walk out, and the rest of the world and the rest of the nation is going to carry us upon their shoulders and in our arms, back over into that land, and in that place, we're going to rule all over the people that had us in captivity. I have not been yet. I'm going to go when the Lord brings me back.
That's right.
All right, Tamar, listen, check it out.
Thank you for the.
Hey, come back, talk to us, man.
Yeah, cheers.
All right, definitely. Have a good one. Power. Power.
It's so interesting. It's almost like in order to make what he says fit, he has to be like non-religious. They basically just get rid of anything that goes against them.
Listen. Don't even believe in their own
They don't
text,
believe
bro.
in their own text, and he's so confused.
You turn it off?
For all his sons and his daughters won't fill the cities with faces. Iniquities of they father, bloodthirstiest of our nation. Not for living water, waiting to put that work in. Hamashiach gives that order, prepare slaughter. For all his sons and his daughters won't fill the cities with faces. Iniquities of they father, bloodthirstiest of our nation. Not for living water, waiting to put this work in. Hamashiach gives that order.